Hi everyone, I'm Nadia, and in today's video my mom is making a beautiful black and gold resin tray and coaster set. She has her molds out and ready, and she's mixing in her resin, and she's using craft resin, which is a 1-to-1 ratio by volume. So she mixed in equal parts of the A and B and then separated it into smaller cups to add in her pigments. I'll have a discount code for craft resin in my description. She starts off with a drop of black alcohol ink. In that same cup, she adds in DuPont's Black Diamond Microflakes. As always, I'll have all of the products that you see in this video listed in my description, so if you're interested in giving this tutorial a try, be sure to check that out. In her next cup, she adds in Just Resin's pigment paste in the shade Rich Gold. With pigment paste, you'll always want to be sure to mix them in the container first before you add some into your cup of resin. And in her third cup, she adds Just Resin's pigment paste in the shade Black. And in her fourth cup, she uses Craft Resin's mica powder in the shade Black. And in that same cup, she adds in DuPont's Luxury Ghost Gold Pearl. This adds a beautiful shine and shimmer. She adds clear resin into a small cup to mix in what will be her center detail. She starts off with some gold glitter and then adds in these black micro beads. Then she adds some small golden beads, some silver glitter, and again DuPont's black microflakes. She mixes that all together and then adds in some gold leaf flakes as well. Once everything is all mixed in well and ready, she's ready to pour into her molds. She starts off with her cup where she added in the black alcohol ink, and she pours that around the edges of the molds. Then she takes her clear resin and pours that directly into the center. She uses a torch gun to pop any air bubbles, and she's moving it very quickly to be sure that she doesn't burn her resin or her mold. Then she takes her black pigment paste resin and starts to circle around the mold. Then she takes her black mica powder pigmented resin and also circles around the mold. She does the same thing with her gold pigmented resin. And she carefully adds in her center detail. Using a thin wooden stick, she drags it through the resin from the edge of the mold into the center, creating the shape of flower petals. She goes back and pours in more of her pigmented resin to try and fill up some of those clear areas. And she does the same process for her coaster molds. She uses her wooden stick to help ensure that there will be no clear space around the center area, so she's dragging the pigmented resin more towards the center. She allows that to harden and comes back the next day to demold. She poured her leftover resin in this flower mold, so she'll be demolding that as well. She decided to turn it into a little bowl, and you can do this once the resin hasn't fully hardened and is still a little bit flexible. But if your resin piece has hardened a bit too much, you can heat it up using a heat gun or by giving it a warm bath to make it flexible again. She places it into a bowl and puts a heavy item on top to keep it in place. And she put a silicone mold between her resin piece to make sure that it will cause no indents. Now she'll be preparing the tray and coaster set for a top coat. And to do this, she's using liquid latex. She pours her liquid latex close to the edge and then uses a silicone makeup brush to make sure that it reached the very edge. And this protects the bottom side from any drops of resin that will flow over during the top coat. Once the liquid latex is dry enough, she props everything up onto cups and mixes in her resin to do her top coat. For her top coat, again, she'll be using craft resin because it has a great heat and scratch resistance. She pours on her resin and again is using a silicone makeup brush to spread the resin to the edge and to make sure that every area is covered in resin. She carefully adds on these beautiful handles. And here she is the next day, removing the liquid latex. And here's the final product. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, subscribe to see more videos like this in the future. Follow me on my Instagram, Summer Girl Designs, and my mom's Instagram, Wild Heart Resin Art.